All right.
Thanks. Okay.
So based on your setup and your stroke, you could be, obviously before, you didn't know any of this green reading stuff. And then mechanically, you weren't able to put the ball on that line as well because your putter, which is standard, I'm not exactly sure why companies will make their putters that angle, because it's been my experience that basically everybody's hands hang too low. Yours was around 72 degrees lie angle. I put it all the way up to the max, the legal max, which is 80 degrees. So within the rule book, it says a 90-degree angle would be straight up and down. The putter shaft has to deviate from that a minimum of 10. Okay, so I put yours at 80, so I moved it up 8 full degrees, which is a lot.
Yeah.
But if we're taking this pendulum gravity swinging concept, to heart, that's what we're doing. So you have a 10-pound right arm, 10-pound left arm that you're hanging in front of you. So let me actually take the putter back from you real quick. Go like this for me. Take both arms up and then relax. They're going to hit your legs. Right? That was gravity pulling down. Now, if you put a tiny little bend in front of you, so a tiny little bend, pick your arms up, what'll happen is you'll clap your hands right in front of you. So put a little bigger bend. There you go, right? So those 10 pounds just smack together. That's about where you want to stand to create this 20-pound pendulum that swings back and forth. So do a couple practice strokes with a slight little bend in your setup. Hang your arms in front of you, and as you swing back and forth, now you have 20 pounds of weight moving. Now, we don't have to go back slow, come through fast. We don't need to have a change in tempo because we have 20 pounds of mass plus the weight of the putter swinging. Make sense? Now, because we're swinging and we're actually using gravity, and gravity is an aligning force, right? You held the putter up earlier like a plum, right? Well, gravity just aligned that. You did not have to do anything to align that. So if your arms are hanging and the putter is hanging and it's set up at 80 degrees, we're as close as legally possible within the rules of golf to this full pendulum stroke. So go ahead and putt a couple, and we'll just kind of see how this feels to let the putter swing. When the putter swings, that works. When the putter swings, we are essentially removing ourselves from something that's very, very consistent. When we don't allow the putter to swing, we're basically getting in the way of a swinging putter. All right, so I'll put you back over here on the curvy putt. Okay, so here's the curvy putt. Go ahead and do that quick little green read. It's going to take you way less time. Walk up to the hole and just walk backwards. There you go, like okay. And actually pull the pin. There you go, now walk backwards.
Leave it in?
Nope, take it with you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just walk backwards. Okay, there you go. Set it on the ground. See, when you're playing with your friends and they wonder why you're walking up to the hole and walking backwards, maybe you're just taking the pin out.
Oh, there you go.
They don't know that you're doing this math equation of that's the distance that you walked backwards. Therefore, you need to putt this same distance on the opposite side, right? So now we're going to putt out here. So go ahead and you can use the line on your ball, and you're going to aim it out here. So this is about how far away you got, maybe 2-3 feet, right? Now you're going to do your pendulum stroke. So the putter is hanging more, your arms are looser. You've got the putter shaft and your arms are in alignment together. Gravity is the aligning force that's kind of holding them all in track together. Now, you're not worried about stroke mechanics, you're just worried about the speed, how hard to hit it. There you go. Much better. Nice.
Feels better too.
Yeah, it should feel like there's less manipulation on your part. When the putter is hanging, not hanging, go ahead and hold it here like a 7-iron, right? Go ahead and take your grip. Now just hover it in the air an inch. See how much muscles it takes? That's a lot of force. Gravity's pulling that club head down. Now hang it. That takes way less force. So your arms are more relaxed, your muscles are more relaxed, your grip pressure is way lighter because the putter is now essentially being suspended just from the fingertip strength. Makes sense? Whereas before, when the putter had an angle to it and it was tilted out here, go ahead and hold that. Now you're using forearm pressure, grip strength just to hold it. And then what happens under pressure is you tell yourself, relax, relax, relax. Well, what happens when you tell yourself to relax your grip? Go ahead and relax your grip. It swings in. So imagine what would happen mid-stroke if your brain told your hands all of a sudden to relax. You get this wiggly, wavy stroke, right? So when you set up correctly and you let your arms hang, now it's just a case of figuring out how hard to hit it. You've already figured out the aim part, so you want to hit this one a little softer. Yeah, there you go. Just let your arms hang. Feel the weight. Okay, very good. All right. So what we're doing is we're solving the terrible putting with knowledge, right? So the first thing we solved was learning how to read greens with all these colors and doing it walk backwards. Then we have to fix your stroke mechanics. And the final piece of this puzzle is speed control. So when you do any other sports or activities, do you do right-handed or left-handed?
Right-handed.
Right-handed, okay. So when you go especially to a new course, I want you to do all of your putting on the putting green just one-handed with your right hand only. Yep, and what you're going to do is you're not going to putt to holes. You're going to putt to bigger sections, right? So let's create an area. So those 3 balls up on the edge of the putting green up there, you're just going to putt toward those just with one hand. Swing it back, swing it through. Okay, so now we can see it's a pretty dark section there, right? So let's walk straight toward that ball. You're going to turn, you're going to putt one-handed the opposite direction. So when you get to a new course, I want you to putt one-handed uphill and downhill. See how the color just became shiny? You're going to use one hand only again. You're not putting to the hole, you're just going to putt over to the edge of the green. Right? We got it off the green because we were going downhill, so your stroke didn't need to be as long as it was coming up the hill. So if you can read greens and your stroke mechanics are good and you can figure out speed, we just all around made you a better putter. That's what we want. All right, so let's sink this putt. We're going to read it. Okay, so foot and a half out to the right. There you go. You don't have to use a line if you don't want to. Aiming your foot out there and use your right hand on this putter. Not left. You can use 2 hands, but the right hand is the guide for speed. Just use the right hand for power. Hey, that's pretty good. Yep. So now what do we blame? Well, maybe we blame that we didn't hit it hard enough or we didn't aim far enough to the right, a combination. Any questions, any thoughts on this?
No, well, for me, that's a good miss because now I can just drop it in the hole for my second putt. So even if I'm off a little bit, that's okay.
Yeah, we're not talking about making all these putts. We're just trying to not 3 and 4 putt, right?
Yes.
And that's where the scoring comes in. If you played 18 holes and you 3 putted 15 times, and now we 2 putted 10 of those 15 times, you just shaved 10 strokes off your game because you just putted it better.
Yes.
And then as you get better and better at this, you'll start sinking them. Instead of going up and tapping in 6-inch putts, those will start dropping in because you have a system now in place that you go through every single time. And your goal really in your practice is just do it faster. You pull up in the cart and anyone you're playing with is chatting. You're like, hey, blah, 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 hey, blah, blah, blah. But you're not really listening intently to the conversation anymore. Your eyes are fixed on the green. And as you start scanning, you're like, oh, that was a great story, but your eyes are starting to pick up the colors. Now you're looking at it, and this is what I do. I read everybody's putt. So I look at all 4 players, including 3 plus me, right? I look at the putts and I go, oh, he's got a downhill right to left. His is uphill left to right, whatever. And then, especially if I'm the last one to putt, if I've read all of theirs correctly, like that, I know it gives me confidence that I know I'm going to read mine correctly. And then when you watch the other players, their putts will reveal whether you're correct or not. So you read their putts, boom, boom, boom. Oh, okay. And then you step up. That's when you can get really, really good. Making a lot more putts because you're doing your best to read, and then you're getting a lot more feedback. So, all right.
Yeah, very good. Thank you.
You're welcome.